Hey guys, what's up? So I just wanted to give you a little update. And so I had my post-op appointment with Dr. Chen on Thursday, which unexpectedly turned into surgery day. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a crazy few days. I went to see Dr. Chen for my post-op appointment, and he asked me how things were going, if I was peeing okay, and I was just like, no. My stream is really thin, and it's painful, and stuff like that. So he asked me if it was okay if he could stick the stylet down my phallus, the metal rod thing, to see if he could feel any strictures or tightness or anything like that. So of course I was like, yeah, because I want to know the answer. I want to know if you could feel anything. So he stuck the sorry if I'm a little weird too, I'm a little pain meds, a little high. So he stuck the stylet down my phallus until he felt like a tightness and until I felt pain, and he tried to kind of like go through it, maybe kind of dilate it, and he couldn't with the larger stylet. So he asked if it was okay if he could use a smaller one and try to see if he could do that. And so I was like, sure. So he tried to fit that one through my phallus through this stricture, and he couldn't. And so at this point he kind of was like looking at me, looking a little bit stressed out, and he's like, okay, I've got one more size. I think I have a smaller that I can try to do this. And the reason he was doing this, basically after he stuck the biggest stylet down my phallus, he was like, you have a stricture. And he was trying to get it dilated so that he could teach me how to dilate on my own so that I could wait a couple weeks to have surgery again. But he couldn't get it dilated with even his smallest stylets. So he brought out his last chance stylet to try to see if he could dilate it for me so I didn't have to have like a catheter or something. And he this thing was really small. It was the tiniest little stylet I've ever seen, and he stuck that down until I felt pain. I kind of tried to just like grit through the pain a little bit to see if he could get to open up, but then he couldn't. So he just pulled it out and was like, okay. So he was kind of like talking out loud a little bit to me and to me and my mom, and he was like, I'm just worried that you are going to end up in the ER, and that's just not the greatest situation because you ended up with an SP catheter put in by who knows who, and it's an emergency situation. And he's like, so we can't dilate it. We're going to have to do something about this pretty soon. Where he's like, how about today? So I was like, what? Surgery today? And then he's like, when's the last time you ate? Luckily, I ate at like 5 a.m., so it was like any other surgery day if it was going to happen later on. And so he went to go check next door at the surgery center to see if they had any time or room available for a surgery, and they did. So I had surgery Thursday at 3:30 p.m. after my post-op appointment, and he fixed my stricture. He didn't have to cut my phallus like he originally said he was going to have to do. So overall, I just am so thankful, and I feel so much better. And I didn't realize until after I woke up from surgery with an empty bladder because I had a catheter, just how like full my bladder has been for who knows how long. My bladder has not been able to empty, and it's been really painful peeing. And I just felt so much relief waking up from surgery. And I'm probably skipping so many parts of this because I'm still out of it. But it was kind of a whirlwind day, and I feel so much better. He found a stricture by the base of my phallus where like my fistula was. So he cut an incision just above my scrotum, and he took out the stricture and then connected the two healthy ends of the urethra back together. And he found one near the tip as well, but he was able to dilate it and didn't like cut me and stuff like that. So yeah, this is my very jumbled update. But I'm fixed up, and I have a catheter again. It's a Foley catheter, so it's really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable to walk, or just in general. Not the most pleasant. So hopefully I'll only have it a week. My post-op appointment is next Thursday again. And yeah, So I'm on the mend, back in recovery again. It's a little bit more painful than the glands for sure. The glands wasn't really painful at all. So I've been having to take some pain pills. So of course that's the leaves you with the other troubles of not being able to take a shit. So yeah. I'm fixed up. I had surgery, and it's crazy how being someone who I have a lot of anxiety. So basically I'd convinced myself that I probably didn't have a stricture after all, that it was all in my head. So it's so confusing as an anxious person to know when your anxiety is real and when it's not real. And this was definitely a case where it was real and I was having pain issues. And I'm really lucky that I didn't just not able to pee one day, because it was getting pretty close. There was such a delay between me pulling myself up to the toilet to take a piss to the piss actually coming out. And I guess every time I went to pee, I wondered, is this going to be the time where I can't pee? And I've had so many, in hindsight, looking back, there were so many red flags of you have a stricture, but I just told myself that it was in my head. So lesson learned, not everything is in my head. Anxiety can be real sometimes. So there's that. I'm definitely going to go now. Thank you so much for listening and for your kind comments and all that stuff in the last video. And I appreciate your support so much. Peace out. I will talk to you when I'm less high. Bye.